Hello techies. Welcome to our brand new video series focused on helping you get the most of your experiences in life. Before we start the video, let's know about Upptalk. Upptalk is a live, interactive platform for software training, furnishing robust personalities who could take on universal business platforms.
On handlumuzu iswi havinu that we will always a manger other meeting my lab strategy, business dia trading taf lahado. Not that sh verd si aten. Alrighti, it evit die feprid love zad. So what's a performance element? Are we eigen? Du você quer saber? Du você quer saber of tourists? It will give error that this code already exists. Name you can label, you can give anything, but the code should be the unique one. It should not be the same which is already there in the system. So this is the standard one, which is by default. It is coming from SAP, but when you are going and creating a custom one now, when we are discussing all this field, it will help us to understand what all things we need to go and take it while creating a custom MDF object. So code is the unique one now coming into the effectivity. When you come into the effective dating. Effective dating is what effective dating is a feature which will help us to create multiple records. You can create multiple records for a given particular code. For a given particular date. That is the purpose of going and doing for effective dating. So effective dating help us to manage in something like a track, the data for an effective date. It can be a past date, it can be a current date, it can be a future date. Effective dating is divided into. These are the area from parent, none basic and multiple changes per day. So when you go into effective dating as none. When I am going. Effective dating as none if I am selecting. We understood what is an effective dating. Effective dating is nothing which allow us to create multiple records for a given particular code for a given particular date. The date can be the future date, past date or the current date, so we are going to create a new one. Now, when you go and select a particular effective dating, suppose, we are going and selecting none. How it is behave. So the object. So if you are selecting as none, it indicate that the object is a non-effective dated. So we have seen an effective dated and non-effective dated. So non-effective dated is something where we cannot able to maintain the history. It will only give you the current date in the system. So if you are selecting as none, and it will not change time to time. Something we can take an example of, an object, something as an emergency contact number or a date of birth. Where it will not change time to time. It will be just. It will be something as a static one only. So in that case we will be going and selecting as none. Is it clear? Understood the concept of none when we need to take. Effective dating. If you are going with basic. What is the behavior of basic if you are taking us effective dating as a basic? So here, if you select as a basic, it gives an opportunity to change the record only once per day. So choosing this option. When you choose this option, the record for the past date, current date or the future date. We can able to change once at a time. something we can take. If you are taking the object, something where salary information of an employee. If that is a scenario, then we will going and selecting as a basic. When you see all the standard objects, the effective dating, always, it will be kept as a basic only. OK. Either when you go with any of the objects. OK in the system. That is the standard MDF objects. OK. Now going into firm parent. Firm parent is something where we can call that. It is something like a composite association. I need to explain to you what is a composite association. OK. So to understand firm parent, you need to see how I can able to explain to you if you are selecting the effective dating as a firm parent. It indicates that when you will go and select a firm parent for that, assuming that you have created two objects. OK, two MDF objects. One is a parent object. One is a child object. OK. So always, the child object will be connected to the parent object when you are associating the child object to the parent object. So at that time you have to, in the child object you have to select the effective dating as firm parent, because you are linking that child object to the parent object. So suppose in case if business unit is an MDF object and we have another parent object. OK. So, how this business unit object will be linked to that another object, considering that this business unit is a child object and you are linking it to the parent object. Then in that case firm this object as an effective dating we need to take as a firm parent. OK. What is the benefit of taking the firm parent is that when I duplicate the screen, when I go to an employee profile. OK, let me go to an employee profile and show you, when we have two objects, how these objects are connected to each other. So I'm going into an employee profile. And after going into an employee profile, when I go to the contact information. OK. OK. I can go to the contact information. Or, I can go to the address information. So when I go to the address information and when I click on the address here. Let me take some date here. So when I am going and selecting a date, you can see some record is already created. OK, this field which you are seeing, this is the standard fields, and these fields are associated with which object. This is the object right. OK. This is the object. OK, so we can see two objects are there. What is the another object you can see? Add address is another object. So one object is address, another object is add address. So this address will act as a parent object. And add address will act as a parent object. So when the add address is being configured, then under the add address effective dating will be chosen as from parent, because we want to link this object to this parent object. OK, so when we are linking the child object to the parent object, the child object will be. It will be created as a button here. OK. So when we click on this button, you can see. Another record option will be there where we can able to go and create another record. So if we have a scenario where we can able to go and create multiple record, in that case we need to have two objects. One object will act as a child object and the object will act as a parent object. And in that case we will select under the child object as effective dating as from parent. Understood the concept here? When we need to go and take the parent object. Okay. But in address example you gave all of them. All of them are like they would have different days. I'm dates. All of them be creating like different types, right? Then they're necessarily not related to other. Sorry, I'm not getting your point in address this address. So you have form address. Again, you can create office address and other. Some three types of addresses we can create, but none would be related to anything. Right. We don't need to relate them. None will be related to. Any of them will not be related to anything. Right. Like not necessarily they need to be related like form address, not need to be related to office address. So then why it is not? It is not necessary that it should be.
Please do like, share and subscribe to our channel. For more information, contact us at sales@upptalk.com.